about when you met Alicia, you started speaking to her about regenerative cells.
Yeah, so when I was introduced to Alicia, it was at the top of the Don Cesar in St. Pete. We were at a Dash to the Destination trip. What was that, 10 years ago, 8 years ago-ish?
10 years ago, September.
10 years ago, September. We were at a Roaring Twenties party that weekend, and we were introduced by a mutual friend. And this friend wanted me to talk to Alicia because of a recent diagnosis she had just received and the things that I had been doing over the years with my daughter to help her in her healing journey. I had been using a lot of tools, a lot of different modalities, but the main focus at that time that we were seeing great success with was we were actually traveling to Mexico and getting stem cell injections for my daughter. And these were $25,000 a pop. And we were grateful at where we were in the company we were that we were able to provide that for her. But that was, a very expensive procedures that we were doing, but I knew the power of stem cells. I had banked both of my kids' cord blood before I had them. We had done months of hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy, which push out more stem cells from the bone marrow. We had done laser directed stem cell, technologies from Germany and all kinds of stuff. So for me, I knew stem cells were the holy grail of healing. And when I heard someone had a diagnosis, I'm like, oh, hi, new friend. Great. Let's go to Mexico and get stem cells. And she probably wanted to jump right off the top of that balcony. So I'll let her share her side of it.
Not totally.
That was my first introduction to Alicia. And of course, we got to know each other over the years, and I'll let her share that part. But for me, and finding out about LifeWave was immediately when I found out about this patch being non-transdermal. It activated my own without an injection, without a needle, with nothing entering my body, and definitely without not a $25,000 price tag. I was 100% all in, gung-ho day one. Immediately went to my good friend Laura Balzer, who I'd also known for at that time maybe 12 years or so. And I said, hey, you cured yourself of breast cancer years ago, going holistic IV, vitamin therapy, detox, nutrition. Girl, the inventor of this technology is coming here to Sarasota, Florida in a couple days, and you're going with me because this is like the latest, greatest. Everyone on the planet has to hear about what this technology does, and it's going to be right up your alley for detoxing and boosting the immune system and keeping us young and youthful and healthy forever. And so Laura goes with me, and I slapped a patch on her shoulder, and 20 minutes later, she didn't have pain and had movement, slapped a patch on her hubby, and that night he had the best sleep he'd had in years, and off to the races we went, sharing with anyone and everyone. So there, interject, Laura, go.
Wow. And so, people, right? And you want to help people. And so the first person I thought of, and with Stacy and I together, was Alicia. And y'all, I did not know much. I only knew what I'd heard that day, and I was absolutely blown away. I knew that I wanted to get this on my body immediately for my own personal health, prevention, and longevity, and all that comes with it. But I knew people that could really use this. And my first person was Alicia. And I called her up and I said, Alicia, I don't know much, girl, but this is what I heard. And I really think you need this. Now, I love telling this because the woman says yes to nothing. Okay. She really says yes to nothing. She's very guarded.
I'd say yes to Chris.
Well, you did say yes to Chris. Yes, you did. But you know what? She said yes. And to be honest with you, the power behind her yes goes a lot deeper, especially for Dr. Stacy and I, because when we walked in that room to listen to David, the whole day became very divine, a very divine appointment for us to be there. And then to pass it knowledge on to Alicia and to have her say yes and then get started on this technology. For me, I can't imagine had I not called her. So with that said, because I'm getting chills, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can continue the story.
Yes. So I love that. And, truly divine appointments, God put us in each other's lives over 10 years ago, and knowing the paths and the ups and downs that we're going to take. And here we are together tonight. And so, yes, in 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Total shock to myself and to our whole family. And you guys, when you are facing a diagnosis like that, and especially in your 40s, and when you feel like your whole life is in a great place, a lot of people just go numb. I mean, and it's really hard to hear those words. And I understand now what I call white coat blinders. You know, we go to a doctor, we get a terrible diagnosis, we're scared, we're numb, we don't know what to do, and we just put on these blinders and we look at the guy or the girl in the white coat, and whatever they say, we just do it. And we nod our heads and we just do it. But for me, there was something that stirred in my heart that I just went, I can't. I just can't. Because I was immediately upon diagnosis told on a Thursday, you guys, that on the next following Tuesday, they were going to put a port in my chest, in my vein, and start administering poison inside of my body. And that just did not sit well in my soul. So I told the oncologist, I said, okay, you guys, I'm going to go to the beach. And if I still have this terrible disease when I get back from the beach and we need to do this treatment, then we'll just do it. And he said, okay, well, when will you be back from the beach? Well, I was diagnosed in June of 2014. And I said, it'll be September. They were just like, what, September? And I went, yes, I need this time. So I spent the summer researching everything holistic, you know, anything that I could get my hands on, or anything anyone could share with me that would give me a hope outside of a chemotherapy treatment, and to give me hope that I wasn't going to die. I mean, literally, you guys, my diagnosis, I should not be here today. It really was like a 5 to 8 year max is what I was looking at. So fast forward, yes, I met this beautiful blonde lady and her little girl on the balcony of the Dom, and she told me about this stem cell therapy. And it was the first thing that made sense in my brain. Because, guys, when you get diagnosed with something like this, everybody wants to help, and that's okay. That's our nature. We want to help other people. And there was the hyperbaric chambers. There was going to Germany and doing this. There was you know, injections. There's coffee enemas in Mexico. There was literally people that wanted to send me mushrooms that turkeys had defecated on. Like literally the oils on your belly, the whole 9 thing. You know, I just kind of looked at it all. But this, what Dr. Stacy was sharing with me, was the first thing that made sense. So I checked it out. And guys, for me and what I needed, it was going to be $100,000 to get that stem cell therapy in Mexico. And I didn't have it. I couldn't do it. So I went back home. Another CT later, this was my third one in that 6-month period of time. They proceeded and decided to do a type of chemotherapy for what I was dealing with the lymphoma. And I couldn't even make it. It was so strong. It literally would put me to sleep. They would have to come in and check on me to make sure that I was still breathing, and then medicate me to wake me up to get me going, because it would just put me into a coma-like state. And halfway through the treatment, they decided to pull me out of it because it was just far too strong and I couldn't do it. And he said to me at that time, Alicia, what happens now is we just watch and wait. And you're in my office every 3 months for the rest of the time that we have you here for a CT and blood work. And that's where I was, CT and blood work, CT and blood work, until that morning when Laura messaged me and said, we need to talk. Stacy and I met this guy named David last night, and we found the Holy Grail of healing, like Dr. Stacy said. So I talked to them that day on the phone. Laura and I devised a plan of what I was going to use. And I started with our X39 patch and the supplement patch Aeon, spelled Aeon, the anti-inflammatory, because that is a situation dealing with lymphoma. You're dealing with a lot of inflammation, and your body's fighting. And when you're fighting, it kind of puffs up. And so we're going to cue the picture here in just a second, Stacy. So I just used these two products to start with, X39 and Aeon, side by side. I called it twinning on the back of my neck here at the C7 every day. Now, I got it for that diagnosis, but in the first 3 nights, I slept through the night like a champion with crazy, awesome dreams for the first time in years. 3 years. I had been drinking the teas, buying the pillows and the sheets and the sound machines, trying to get some sleep, you guys. And nothing worked until I put 2 stickers on the back of my neck. And I went, are they making me tired? What's happening? This is working. I don't get it. So 3 nights slept through the night. In about 3 weeks, lower debilitating back pain that I had been seeing a chiropractor for 18 months, I woke up and it was gone. And I'm not talking just it felt better. It was diminished, gone, and never to return. And I had been seeing a chiropractor for months, paying thousands of dollars for chiropractic care, and it's gone. Like, I had to call Laura. Okay, Laura, I know I got these patches for my, situation, but I'm sleeping through the night and having amazing dreams. So I know I'm sleeping deep and sleeping well, and my back doesn't hurt anymore. Could possibly these patches be doing that? And she said, girl, the body's capable of amazing things. There is no telling what's going on. Just keep patching. Just keep putting it on your body. So kept putting it on my body. And like I said, every 3 months, I already had a pre-scheduled, pre-arranged CT and blood work. So at 43 days of patching, I had a scheduled CT and blood work. And I know these dates because I know when I started patching and I know when my doctor's appointment was. I can pull it up on my chart right now online and see the report. But anyway, I went in, had my CT, had my blood work, did my follow-up with my oncologist 3 days later. And he just threw his hands back on his table and he said, Alicia, I don't know what you're doing. I don't want to know what you're doing, but you better keep doing it because these are the best results that you've had since you've been diagnosed. Wow. The best results. And he said, they look so good. I don't need to see you for a year. And I went, wait, what? A year? And I had been seeing this man every 3 months for years. And he just gave me a year clear because I'd been putting 2 stickers on the back of my neck every day. Now, 6 months later, a girlfriend of mine asked me, have you lost weight? And I was like, I wish I'd lost weight. No, I haven't lost a pound. And she said, well, what are you doing? Because you look different. And I went, what? I don't understand. And she went, you look amazing. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. And then we started talking about it. And Laura even said to me, you need to do a before and after photo. So the photo that Stacy's got,
right here.
She's going to share. This was, yeah. Okay. So we can look at that.
Unbelievable.
You can see when I started patching May of 2021, because I started right after Memorial Day. And so that's a Memorial Day picture right there. And then that's a Christmas picture right there in the center. So 6 months of just X39 and Aeon. And then I just celebrated 3 years of patching, and you can see that's me right there. So the amount of inflammation in my body completely, I mean, just I tell people to look at the eyes. And if you haven't done a before and after of yourself after patching 6 to 12 months, do it and look at your eyes. I mean, it is so telling. But I think, looking at this, non-bias, the hair, the skin, everything's different and completely. And I mean, you're seeing me live right here, right now, and you can see what I look like today. So it is, it's just fantastic what is happening. And, if all of that good stuff is going on and you can see it visibly on the outside, imagine what is happening on the inside. And I know that it's good stuff because I'm getting my blood work and my CTs. Now, back to the story. So I went for my 1 year. And he did the CT and the blood work again after 1 year. And he said, at a time that you should be getting worse, you're getting better. And I don't understand. And I was like, I do, I do. It's something about just, waking up and taking care of yourself every day. And another thing, I had another guy ask me just this week. He said, well, did you not try this? And did you not try this? And did you not do this and this and this? And I said, no, I only used the patches because I wanted to know if they were what was working. I only used the patches. I could have combined it with a lot of different other things, but during that first 6 months, and then since then, I've only used the patches because I know that they're working, and I didn't want to have to question what is working and what is not. I just used the patches. So I got another year clear in 2022, and then in 2023, I went in and got a 2-year clear, and lo and behold, when I got back home and I was paying my bill and I got online to my chart, they had downgraded me from stage 4 to stage 3. And he didn't tell me that verbally in the office, but it was on my chart. And guys, like I just said, the only thing I have done is put these patches on my body every day. And it just keeps getting better and better. And I get real excited about sharing this story. Now, I know that not everybody gets these crazy, amazing results. And there's been other things like my dental reports are better. My scans for my mammograms have improved. They've told me my breast tissue looks like a 30-year-old breast tissue, and I'm 53 years old, by my calendar. So that's pretty important as well. I like having 30-year-old breast tissue, but that's pretty cool. So I don't know. What was there anything else that you guys have just heard me tell the story so much? I just love sharing.
Well, Alicia, there's a lot of guests on here tonight that haven't heard your story. And I'm sure every time I hear the story, and I've known you for over 15 years now, I get chills, and it's such a blessing, and it is divine. And I feel like divine appointment can happen years prior to you even knowing it, And so, a couple things. Raven on here said you look younger now than you did when it started. We all do. I mean, come on. We really all do. I mean, those of us, and again, Stacy's going to talk about it, that have patched consistently, these are some of the result that is unexpected, right? You did not start this to have beautiful skin and your eyes clearer, and that wasn't where your head was. And no. I think that's one of the things that people really start to notice, like you did with your back and the sleeping, and now you're engaged to be married. And girl, you just have this whole new lease on life.
I know. I'm a grandma. I'm getting married. Like, none of that would have been possible without these patches, because